Speaking of Tampa jail, I had to bring this up because back in the early '70s, you and Cheech came to perform over here in Tampa, and you got arrested on obscenity charges. Not
Yeah,
not for smoking cannabis or anything like that, but for obscenity charges. Tell us
it
what
was a,
happened there.
it was a scam. What's his name? What's the guy who showed his wiener?
Uh,
He died in France. Jim Morrison.
Ah, yeah.
The Doors. Remember Jim Morrison?
Yeah, he
yes.
used to piss on
Well,
his guitar, right? That's the guy.
I love
he
that's how
showed.
you describe him, like this guy that did this great music. You're like, yeah, he showed his wiener.
Yeah. Well, he got arrested, and so what they did at the hall, we played the same hall. They put a $5,000 performance bond. Now, if you get arrested by the cops or if you cause any trouble whatsoever, you forfeit that $5,000 bond. And so Cheech and I did our act, no problem. We never insulted or hurt anybody. But we did a bit called The Dogs, where Cheech and I walk around, crawl around on all four, our hands and knees and sniff each other's butts. Well, that was okay too. But what happened, they had the cops lining this in front of the stage, like we were going to be attacked or something. They're looking for, violence or something. And so Cheech went over to one of the cops. He had his back to Cheech, and Cheech picked up the cop's hat with his teeth, like a dog would. and then he peed on the cop. Well, the cop, he did not like being part of the act. and so they decided to arrest us when we got off stage, and they were telling everybody, and they let us finish the show, but they said they're arresting Cheech and Chong, and so the cops were fighting over who was going to take him down, who was the biggest fan, come on,
Wow.
I got all their records, man, let me drive them down. And so they took us down, and we got booked into the Tampa prison or jail. And because we just finished doing a show, we're still in that show business mode, and so we're like clowning around, we're doing jokes, having our mug shots taken, and at the booking place where they booked us and took our valuables. But Cheech, whose dad is a cop, and with me, I grew up with gang. I got a white supremacy tattoo from before the Hells Angels. It was a biker, and so I was been in jail when I was 15 years old for overnight, that kind of thing, So I knew about jail. Cheech didn't. Cheech was a riot because he was nervous, scared. He didn't, he followed my lead, so I'm making jokes, he's making jokes. But when we got to prison, he got very quiet. At first he was joking. At first he was, because they put us in the drunk tank, with all the other people, And this one Mexican said to Cheech, in Spanish, so what are you in here for? And Cheech didn't want to say, obscenity. So he said, drugs. and the Chicano goes, oh, tell him a black guy sold it to you. that was our alibi. And so Cheech, he was still in his comic mood, and he's talking to this jailer walked by, and Cheech goes, oh, jailer, could we have some pink toilet tissue, please? Acting very gay. And the guy didn't look at Cheech, the cop, And then about 5 minutes later, the same guy comes back and he says to Cheech, you come with me.
I could just see, I picture in my head him just losing it.
Cheech, right away. My dad's a cop. Yeah, LAPD. And the thing is, we rode the elevator coming down, and you could see dents in the elevator where people's heads were smashed against the walls of the elevator. And Cheech had to take that same elevator up. And what they wanted to separate us. That was their plan. They weren't going to hurt Cheech at all. The guy, the jailers, they heard more than that, but Cheech had no idea. And I laughed. Oh my God, I laughed hard because, you're in a drunk tank. It's an experience, There was one guy, I think, Cheech had to go to the bathroom too. That's true. And there's no toilet paper. And there was one roll of toilet paper, and there was a drunk using it as a pillow. And so Cheech says, I need toilet paper. And I said, well, I don't want to wake the guy. And so finally I did. I pulled him to really very carefully he was passed out. He couldn't feel anything anyway. But oh man, I mean, it was a farce. It was funny. And then we got out and no problem. The guy made us $5,000 and we got out on bail. And I think they fined us $100 or something. We never went to court anyway, because there was nothing to go to court over. It was just a scam, a Florida scam, by the way.
Well, if ever you will decide to come on down to Tampa again or Ybor City, we will get you a guaranteed apology from the mayor and from the sheriff of Hillsborough County. And my word is somebody else's bond, but I can probably get it done.
Oh, okay. Well, I would just go for them legalizing it across the board and just having us give us our medical and get out of the way,